Sometimes life places us in front of situations that challenge everything we think we know about ourselves. One of the hardest is learning to let go of someone who never deserved us. It might seem like a simple task, but in reality, it involves a deep journey inward, where we uncover aspects of our psyche we didn't even know existed. Carl Jung, one of the great thinkers of modern psychology, understood that our relationships are not only reflections of our conscious emotions, but also of those parts of our mind we'd rather not face. Why then is it so hard to let go of someone who has hurt us? What keeps us tied to a connection we know deep down doesn't benefit us? The answer lies in our shadow. Jung described this shadow as the hidden aspects of our personality, those we repress because they don't fit the image we want to project to the world. But the shadow doesn't vanish just because we ignore it. In fact, it exerts a subtle yet powerful influence over our choices, especially in relationships. When we allow someone into our lives who takes more than we're willing to give, we're not only compromising our inner peace, but also sending a message to our unconscious that we're not enough, that our needs and dreams come second, and that message becomes a wound we carry with us, affecting our self-esteem and our ability to move forward. The problem is that we often seek in others the validation we should find within ourselves. It's as if we're trying to fill a void, a sense of incompleteness that often stems from past experiences. Jung invites us to explore that void, not with fear, but with curiosity, because within it lies the key to breaking free from the patterns that trap us in toxic or unsatisfying relationships. Letting go of someone who never deserved you isn't just an act of courage. It's an act of self-love. It's telling your mind, your heart, and your spirit that you deserve better, that you don't need to cling to a connection that doesn't help you grow. But this process doesn't happen overnight. It requires a deep commitment to yourself, a desire to truly know yourself and embrace every part of your being, even the ones you'd rather avoid. Every time you choose to move forward, every time you decide to let go, you're opening space in your life for something new, something better. And though the fear of emptiness can feel overwhelming, Jung teaches us that this void isn't an enemy. It's a blank canvas, an opportunity to create a life more aligned with your true essence. When you understand this, you start to notice a shift. You no longer feel the need to hold on to people who don't value you. You stop seeking in others the validation you now find within yourself. This is the power of integrating your shadow, of accepting every part of yourself, and letting go of what no longer resonates with your being. Because when you do, you don't just free your energy. You discover that the most powerful and transformative love is the one you give yourself. This process of letting go of someone who never deserved you isn't just a path to emotional freedom. It's a doorway to greater self-awareness. Jung showed us that every relationship in our lives, even the most painful ones, is an opportunity to learn something about ourselves. But to seize that opportunity, we need to look beyond the surface, beyond blame and resentment, and dive into what that connection truly means. When we hold on to someone who doesn't value us, it's often not out of love, but out of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of not being enough, fear of not finding something better. These fears aren't flaws. They're part of our human condition. But if we let them guide our decisions, we risk living a life dominated by insecurity instead of authenticity. Jung insisted that facing these fears is the key to transforming ourselves. The resistance to letting go largely comes from our inability to face that fear. When someone leaves our life, we dread the space that relationship once filled, even if it was a relationship that hurt us. But this is where Jung's work becomes most relevant. He teaches us that this emptiness isn't something to fear, but something to embrace. Because within that void lies the seed of what can blossom in our lives. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or ignoring what happened. On the contrary, it means fully acknowledging it, accepting the lessons it brings, and then releasing it. This act not only heals the heart, but also frees our mind from the thought patterns that perpetuate suffering. When we let go of someone who never deserved us, we're saying we're ready for something more, something aligned with our truth. At first, it might feel like a leap into the void, an act that defies all our protective instincts. But as we move forward, we start to notice something extraordinary. The emptiness begins to fill, not with the presence of another person, but with our own essence. We discover that we don't need anyone else to feel complete, because that wholeness is already within us. This is one of the greatest gifts of letting go, the chance to reconnect with our true selves. And it's not just an internal shift. When we start living from this place of authenticity, the external world transforms too. The people who once drained our energy begin to fade away, and in their place come those who inspire us, support us, and help us grow. It's as if the universe responds to our decision to value ourselves more. This is the magic of letting go of what doesn't belong to us. It creates space for the things we truly deserve. The path isn't always easy. There will be moments of doubt, nostalgia, and perhaps pain. But every step you take toward your liberation is an act of self-love, a reminder that you deserve better. Jung believed that the true purpose of life isn't to avoid suffering, but to find fullness within it. And that fullness is only possible when you choose to prioritize your peace, your well-being, and your authenticity. When you start living from this place, you realize that letting go isn't an end. It's a beginning. It's the start of a new chapter, one where you're no longer defined by others' expectations or past wounds. Instead, you're defined by your connection to yourself, by the strength that comes from knowing who you are and what you deserve. This process doesn't just transform you. It redefines how you interact with the world around you. Jung taught us that our relationships aren't coincidences. They're reflections of our inner state. What we tolerate in others, what we accept despite knowing it harms us, is nothing more than a mirror of what we've learned to accept within ourselves. So when you choose to let go, you're not just leaving behind a person. You're also releasing the limiting beliefs that led you to allow that connection in the first place. At this point, a question might arise. How do you know when it's truly time to let go? The answer doesn't lie in others' advice or societal expectations, but in your intuition, that quiet voice that's always been there guiding you. When you feel a relationship demands you sacrifice your essence, your values, or your dreams, it's a clear sign something's not right. Jung firmly believed that our intuition is a powerful tool, a bridge between our conscious and unconscious minds. Listening to it is an act of courage and self-love. As you walk this path, it's important to remember that letting go isn't an act of disdain toward the other person. It's not about blame or holding grudges. It's about recognizing that everyone is on their own journey, and sometimes those paths simply aren't meant to intersect. This understanding doesn't just free you, it also frees the other person to continue their own journey. When you decide to let go, something within you begins to shift. It's like closing a door that's long let in cold, turbulent drafts. and as you close it, you feel a calm you haven't experienced in a long time. This calm isn't an absence of emotion. It's the sensation of being at peace with yourself, of knowing you're making decisions aligned with your well-being and authenticity. But the work doesn't end here. Letting go also involves a commitment to yourself, not to repeat the same patterns. Jung taught us that if we're not aware of our shadows, they'll keep manifesting in our lives, leading us to similar relationships and situations. That's why it's essential to reflect on what this experience has taught you. What beliefs, fears, or past wounds led you to this relationship? And what can you do to heal and avoid repeating the same cycle? The answer, as always, lies within you. But you're not alone in this process. Jung believed in the power of human connection, in our ability to support each other on our journeys of self-discovery. Surrounding yourself with people who inspire and uplift you can be an invaluable source of strength. These relationships not only aid your healing process, but also remind you of what's possible when you choose to live from a place of self-love and authenticity. As you integrate these lessons, you'll notice you start to attract a different kind of connection. The people who enter your life are no longer those who drain you or make you feel inadequate. Instead, they're individuals who see your worth, respect your essence, and encourage you to keep growing. This is one of the greatest gifts of letting go, the space you create in your life for what you truly deserve. The change you experience when you let go isn't just emotional or mental, it affects your energy in a profound way. Jung spoke of how our emotions and experiences create energetic patterns in our unconscious. When you hold on to someone who never deserved you, you maintain an energetic bond that depletes your inner resources. This exhaustion isn't just reflected in your emotions, but also in your ability to manifest your dreams and goals. Letting go breaks that cycle of depletion. It's an act of liberation that restores your energy and allows you to redirect it toward what truly matters in your life. Suddenly, you start to notice you have more clarity to make decisions, more motivation to pursue your goals, and a renewed sense of purpose. This shift can feel like you're finally taking control of your own story. But this transformation doesn't happen instantly. It requires time, patience, and above all, compassion toward yourself. Jung reminded us that the process of healing and growing isn't linear. There will be days when you feel strong and free, and others when nostalgia or pain catch you off guard. These moments aren't setbacks. They're opportunities to deepen your self-understanding even further. One of the biggest challenges of letting go of someone who never deserved you is resisting the temptation to look back, to idealize what was or what could have been. Our unconscious tends to soften the rough edges of the past, creating a romanticized version that can make us doubt our decision. But in those moments, it's vital to remember why you chose to let go. Recall the impact that relationship had on your well-being, the signs you ignored, and the peace you've started to experience since taking that step. As you move forward, one of the most powerful things you can do is reconnect with yourself. Spend time exploring who you are outside of relationships. What passions drive you? What inspires you? What brings you joy? Jung believed that self-knowledge is the foundation of a fulfilling life. When you know yourself, you no longer need to seek validation from others, because you become your own source of strength and love. This reconnection with yourself not only strengthens your inner relationship, but also affects how you relate to the world around you. People start to notice the change in you, the confidence, the peace, the authenticity you radiate. This shift isn't something you can fake. It's the natural result of prioritizing and honoring your truth. And the more you live from this place, the more you attract relationships and opportunities that reflect your worth. One of Jung's most important lessons is that the external world is a mirror of our inner world. The relationships we attract, the experiences we live through, all are influenced by our inner energy and beliefs. So when you choose to let go of someone who never deserved you, you're not just changing that particular relationship. You're transforming your entire belief system about what you deserve and what you're capable of creating in your life. This is a moment to celebrate, not just because you've made a courageous decision, but because you're opening the door to a new chapter, a chapter where you're no longer defined by the past, but by the person you're choosing to be each day. Every step you take toward your authenticity brings you closer to a life filled with purpose, joy, and true connection. As you continue on this path of liberation, you start to notice something profound shifting within you. The things that used to unsettle you, the insecurities you used to carry, begin to fade. This doesn't mean you stop feeling pain or that wounds vanish instantly, but it does mean you're learning to transform those emotions into something more powerful, personal growth. Carl Jung firmly believed that suffering has a purpose. It's not something we should avoid at all costs, but something we should understand. In suffering, we find the roots of our humanity, the truths we ignore, and the strengths that can propel us toward our best selves. When you let go of someone who never deserved you, you're facing suffering consciously, choosing not to let it define you, but to use it as a stepping stone toward your own evolution. In this process, you're likely to encounter moments of solitude. These moments can feel frightening at first, but they're also deeply transformative. Solitude, when you accept it as a temporary companion, gives you the space to rediscover yourself. It's in these moments of silence that you can hear that inner voice, the one that's been trying to reach you all along, most clearly. According to Jung, that voice is a manifestation of your unconscious, an endless source of wisdom and power. When you allow yourself to listen to it, you start finding answers that once seemed out of reach. You discover you don't need others' approval to feel worthy. You realize you don't need to fill your inner voids with external relationships. And you come to understand that the love you seek has always been within you. This transformation doesn't just affect your relationship with yourself. It also shapes how you view future relationships. Once you integrate the lessons of letting go of someone who didn't value you, you begin to set higher standards for your connections. You're no longer willing to settle for less than you deserve. This isn't arrogance or selfishness, it's self-love. And this self-love doesn't just benefit your life, it also enriches the lives of those you choose to keep close. Because when you value yourself, you inspire others to do the same. The power of letting go isn't limited to personal relationships. It also affects how you approach challenges, failures, and disappointments. You learn to release unrealistic expectations, goals that no longer resonate with you, and beliefs that limit your potential. This act of letting go frees you to explore new possibilities, to embrace change with courage, and to create a life that truly reflects who you are. And this is where the magic happens. When you start living from a place of authenticity and fullness, the universe responds. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach begin to appear. The people you encounter are those who complement your energy, not drain it. This isn't an accident. It's the result of aligning with your truth, of letting go of what didn't serve you, and opening space for what does. This journey doesn't have a fixed endpoint because personal growth is an ongoing process. But every step you take is a powerful declaration. You're choosing to live a life that's yours, a life not defined by others' expectations or past mistakes. You're choosing to let go, to move forward, to create, to be. When you decide to let go of someone who never deserved you, you're making one of the most important decisions of your life, to prioritize and honor your essence and open yourself to new possibilities. This act doesn't just free you from what weighed you down. It transforms how you relate to yourself and the world around you. Along this journey, you discover that letting go isn't weakness, but strength. It's a testament to your self-love, your ability to choose what helps you grow and leave behind what holds you back. Letting go is an act of courage because facing the void, the silence, and the deepest questions about yourself isn't easy. But in doing so, you realize that void isn't the end. It's the beginning of something much greater, the chance to build a life that reflects your truth, your worth, and your purpose. As you move forward, you become a living example of transformation and authenticity. The people around you start to notice the change, and many will find inspiration in your ability to choose yourself. This ripple effect is more powerful than you imagine, because when you choose to heal and grow, you also create space for others to do the same. I want you to reflect on this moment. Think about what letting go means to you, about the people or situations no longer aligned with your path. And more importantly, think about the space you could create in your life if you dared to free yourself from them. That space is a blank canvas, an opportunity to build something new, something that truly fills you with purpose and joy. If this message resonated with you, if it made you reflect, or if you think someone else needs to hear it, I invite you to share this video. Maybe you know someone struggling with a relationship or situation that's holding them back, someone who needs this reminder to reconnect with themselves. By sharing this content, you're not only helping that person, but also helping this message reach more people who need it. Leave me a comment below and tell me which part of this message touched your heart. I'd love to know how you're choosing to prioritize yourself and let go of what no longer serves you. Plus, if you have ideas, experiences, or questions, share them. Every comment enriches this community and helps more people benefit from this space. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss the next video. Every time you interact with this video, whether by liking, commenting, or sharing, you help this message spread further, impacting lives and creating a chain of transformation. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Here, we're a community of people committed to growing, healing, and discovering our true potential. You're part of this movement, and together, we can create profound change, not just in our lives, but in the lives of those around us. Thank you for being part of this moment, for taking the time to listen and reflect. Keep moving forward. Trust yourself and your ability to build an authentic life, because the world needs more people who dare to let go, grow, and shine. See you in the next video.